ब्रह्मनाथ ओ शांति 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 स्वस्थ।
Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about the various tools of the biotechnology, in which we discussed that the cloning vector we discussed. Cloning vector means it is the vehicle DNA which helps to carry the foreign DNA into the host and where it can replicate. Next we discussed various types of the cloning vector, or we can say such as firstly we discussed the plasmid which is a small double-stranded circular extra chromosomal DNA. The common one is your PBR322. Then we discussed the naming of the plasmid. Okay. Further, we discussed other cloning vectors such as your bacteriophage, phasmids, cosmids, YAC, BAC, etc. Next, we discussed about the passenger DNA, or we can say the foreign DNA, which is being transferred into the host by the cloning vector, or the vehicle DNA. It is transferred into the host where it replicates. Next, we discussed that the passenger DNA is of three types: the complementary DNA, synthetic DNA, and the random DNA. And at last we discussed about the competent host in which that the DNA or the clone or the recombinant DNA will be transformed. Okay, so finally today we'll discuss our new topic, that is the steps of recombinant DNA technology. Okay, we can say this is a long question also. Okay, this is your last 7-mark long question. Okay, the steps of the recombinant DNA technology. In the steps of the recombinant DNA technology, we'll discuss basically 8 steps. Okay, firstly we'll discuss the isolation of the DNA segment. Obviously the desired DNA or the gene which we want as a cloning vector and the foreign DNA, it will be extracted. Next, the cutting of the DNA at the specific location, means the DNA will be cut at the specific location and then it will be means the recombinant DNA will be formed. Then the gel electrophoresis will discuss, then the bloating, then the formation of the recombinant DNA, then the introduction of the recombinant DNA into the host, then the obtaining the foreign gene product, and lastly processing and how we will send it into the market. Okay. So first we'll discuss the isolation of the DNA segment. Obviously the cloning vector and the cloning vector and the foreign DNA fragment is being taken out from the cell by using various enzymes. Okay, such as your the cellulase. The cellulase enzyme is used for the the breaking the plant cell wall, lysing the plant cell wall. Then the chitinase is used for breaking the fungal cell wall, and lastly we know that the lysozyme is used to break the bacterial cell wall. So we can write first point that the cloning vector and the foreign DNA is taken out from the cell by using enzymes. Okay, whereas the lysozyme enzyme used to break the bacterial cell wall. Okay, then the cellulase is used for the lysing of the the plant cell wall, lysing of the plant cell wall, and the chitinase will help to break the fungal cell wall. fungal cell wall. Okay. So this is your first step, means the desired cloning vector, or we can say the foreign DNA, is being taken out from the by the help of the enzymes. Okay, means by breaking the cell wall. The lysozyme helps to enzyme to break the bacterial cell wall. Cellulose is used to help the plant break the lyse the plant cell wall, and the chitinase helps to break the, we can say, the fungal cell wall. Okay. Now the cutting of DNA at specific location. Now we have the cloning vector and we have the DNA, the specific DNA, we can say the foreign DNA. Now the cloning vector and the DNA on the foreign DNA are cut by the similar restriction endonuclease to find the complementary sticky or blunt ends. We can write that the cloning vector and foreign DNA is cut by similar restriction endonuclease, by similar restriction endonuclease, by similar restriction endonuclease, by the similar restriction endonuclease to get the complementary sticky or blunt ends. Okay, by which we can form the recombinant DNA technology, or we can ligase. So firstly we extracted the cloning vector and the foreign DNA. Now we have to find the complementary, we can the ends by which the cloning vector and the foreign DNA is cut by the similar restriction endonuclease. Obviously we know similar restriction endonuclease help to cut at a particular sequence nucleus to get the complementary sticky or blunt ends. Okay. So now we discuss two steps. First one we discuss the isolation of DNA segment, then the cutting of DNA at the specific location. Okay, please note down. Now we'll discuss our next two steps, that is your gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. Okay, so first, suppose this one is your cell having the DNA or the genome. Okay, then this DNA is being isolated. Okay, and by using, we can say, restriction endonuclease, it is being cut. It is the DNA. Okay, by using the restriction endonuclease cut into this DNA is being cut into various DNA fragments. Simple. Now next, this DNA fragments, these are the DNA fragments. Okay, next these DNA fragments will transfer into a instrument for the gel electrophoresis process. That instrument having a base, it is a plate like structure. Okay, and will make well, or we can say the hole near the base, so that we can pour the DNA. Okay, so next thing, having the gel, having the, and the plate having the gel. Okay, simple. And electric supply is also being given. Okay, and in this plate or the instrument having the near the base, that is your cathode end, and this one is your anode. Cathode one is your negative end, anode one is your positive end. Simple. See, by the help of the micropipette, we will pour these DNA fragments into the hole or the well of the, we can say, the instrument which is present near the base. Then by the when after we'll pour the DNA fragments into the hole, then we apply the electric supply. When the electric supply is being started, the DNA, as the DNA is negative in nature, it will slowly moves towards the anode or the positive end. Okay, and having structure like, and it will be arranged according to their size and shape. Suppose the largest one will be at the base, and gradually the smaller one will be on the anode side. Okay, so in this manner the size will be, or it will be arranged. This one is your largest DNA, then it will gradually descend down. Okay, so in this manner the DNA fragments are being arranged by the help of the, we can say, the after giving the electric supply. But at this stage the DNA fragments are not visible, so that we should apply some type of fluorescent that it should be visible to us. Okay, next step, here the DNA which is arranged in the gel, the gel which is used is agrogel or the polyacrylamide in the case of the protein. So the gel, in the gel it is difficult to extract the DNA. Okay, that is, we found the pattern of the DNA, it is difficult to extract the DNA. Okay, so for that technique we will use the blotting technique. Okay, now the DNA we are finding now is your double stranded DNA. In this step what we will do, in the gel we will apply the alkali, apply the alkali, so that it will make the double stranded DNA into single stranded DNA. Understood? What it will do in the gel, after the arrangement of the pattern, we will apply the alkali, so that the double stranded DNA will convert it into single stranded DNA. The double stranded DNA will convert it into single stranded DNA. But now how will extract the DNA? It is difficult to extract the DNA from the gel, so that is why we can say the blotting technique is being used. What is there in the blotting technique? Suppose this is an instrument. Okay, at the base is the alkali buffer solution, alkali buffer solution is there. This one is your sponge, for the, we can say, for the proper base. Then is your gel, okay, having the DNA. Okay, having the DNA. Then at the top is the nylon membrane. This one is your, let us write, this one is your gel, then this one is your, we can say, the nylon membrane. Okay, then we will give the absorbent tissue. This one is your absorbent tissue, and lastly some weight is being given. Okay, so this one is your instrument for the blotting technique. So as I said earlier, that in the gel it is difficult to extract the DNA, so that is why by the help of the nylon membrane we can extract the DNA or the pattern of the DNA by the help of the blotting technique. So what it will be done? Due to the capillary action of the alkali buffer solution, it will move forward or the upward, by which the the DNA which are present will be attached to this nylon membrane, and as the weight is there, it will more literally help to attach the DNA to the nylon membrane. So now we will draw the nylon membrane. Suppose this one is your nylon membrane. Okay, having the single stranded DNA, Okay, having the single stranded DNA. Suppose now we have the single stranded DNA, but as we have to extract the complete genomic sequence of a particular organism or a desired DNA, so we have to make this single stranded DNA into double stranded DNA. So suppose a sequence having A, T, A, G, G, A. Suppose this is the sequence. So we have to apply the probe DNA such as your T, A, T, C, C, T. Okay, so that we can make this single stranded DNA into the double stranded DNA. Double stranded DNA. And these are labeled by phosphorus radioactive element such as your phosphorus. Labeled means what? As we know, these are we can identify our desired DNA by using a particular, we can say, radioactive isotope, so that we can identify means that if this radioactive isotope such as your P32 is present, then this is our particular gene or DNA, which is your step of the, we can say, the autoradiography. Okay, so as of now in the final DNA, in the nylon membrane, we have the desired DNA or the gene product, okay, which we want to extract. So now the once more I am telling you all the process things. First of all, the cell is present having the DNA. Next we'll extract or isolate the DNA by using enzymes. Next, the restriction endonuclease will cut their DNA into various DNA fragments. Okay, then the DNA fragments will applied or poured on the, we can say, a plate like substance having a base. Okay, and near the base will make the well or we can hole by which we can pour the DNA by the help of the micropipette. Okay, by which next electric supply is also given having the cathode negative end and the anode positive. As the DNA are, then the electric supply will be start. As the DNA are negative in nature, they will start, after the electric supply, they will start slowly move towards the anode end, by which the largest DNA will be remain at the base, and as they go forward, they start from in the decreasing size order. Next, these are the double stranded DNA, okay, having the gel called the agrogel. And these are the double stranded DNA, we have to convert or denature it by applying the alkali, by converting it into the double stranded DNA into single stranded DNA. Okay, but now in the gel, the single stranded DNA having a particular pattern we have, but we can't extract the DNA from it, but because it is very difficult. So you will use the blotting technique by using the nylon membrane or the nitrocellulose membrane or the nylon membrane. What is the present in the blotting technique? It is an instrument having the alkaline buffer solution, then upper that the sponge is present, then the gel is present having the DNA patterns, then the nylon membrane is there, then the absorbent tissue, and lastly the weight is present. Due to the capillary action of the alkali buffer solution, the solution will go up in the upward direction, by which the DNA which is present in the gel will attach to the nylon membrane, and the weight will easily help to compress it to, or we can say, make the imprint on the nylon membrane. Next, how we will study from the nylon membrane, how we will extract the DNA. In the nylon membrane, okay, suppose these are your single stranded DNA, but we have to apply the, we can say, this one is your probe DNA, or we can say the complementary DNA, probe DNA, or we can say the complementary DNA, so that we can make the single stranded DNA into double stranded DNA. Probe DNA are prepared in the laboratory, means according to the particular sequence we have to make a probe DNA by which we can make the single stranded DNA into double stranded DNA, and these are labeled by using the phosphorus or the P32, by which we can identify the desired DNA or the gene. Next, it is being after that process is known as autoradiography. So in this way we can get our the desired gene, or we can say desired DNA. Okay, so this is all about your First one is your gel electrophoresis process, then is your blotting technique. Okay, please note down. Now come to your some terms in the gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. We are not going in detail about the writing because it is a conceptual thing, so I have understand you the concept or the process of the gel electrophoresis and the blotting, but some important points we must write and we must know. So the gel electrophoresis, the gel which is used in the case of the DNA and RNA is your commonly called the agarose, or in the protein case we know that is the polyacrylamide. Okay, and there are various dyes which are used so that to we can say the identify, or we can say to see the DNA, that is your some visible dye are present such as your methylene blue, and also various invisible dye are present such as your UV radiation or the ethidium bromide. Okay. Next, for a protein, a particular gel electrophoresis process is present which is known as your sodium dodecyl sulfate polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, or we can say the SDS page. Always remember, for the protein which is required or which type of gel electrophoresis required, that is your answer will be SDS page, or we can say sodium dodecyl sulfate polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis process. Okay, and in this the dye is used your Cumasi brilliant. Okay, after the gel electrophoresis we know that is the blotting technique. Okay, in which the gel gets treated by the alkali and the denature happens, means the double stranded DNA are converted into single stranded DNA. So the gel gets treated with the alkali and the denaturation of the DNA takes place, means the double stranded DNA are converted into single stranded DNA. After that, the proper blotting technique is being used, in which the single stranded DNA are transferred to the nitrocellulose membrane or the filter paper or the nylon membrane. Okay, and after that the hybridization is being done. Means what? Means the adding of the complementary DNA or the probe DNA to make the single stranded DNA into desired, as we are extracting the complete genomic sequence, so that we have to convert the single stranded DNA into double stranded DNA. That is why in the hybridization process, the adding of the complementary probe or the DNA probe is being done, and it is labeled by the phosphorus 32, or we can say the phosphorus, radioactive phosphorus, which is the process of the autoradiography, as I have said earlier. Next, the molecular hybridization, in which the probe finds its complementary target DNA, and by which we find the target DNA or the target gene product. Okay, and at last the autoradiography is being done by the applying some various radioisotopes, by which we can identify our target DNA. Okay, we've discussed completely about the gel electrophoresis and the, we can say, the blotting, but these are some important writing points that you should always remember. Okay, so this is all about, we can say, the gel electrophoresis. First we describe the complete process of the gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. Then now we have the some few writing parts of the gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. Next, which blotting technique is used for, we can say, for DNA or RNA? The southern blotting technique is used for the DNA. Northern blotting technique is generally used for the RNA, and the western blotting technique is generally used for the protein. Okay, so this is all about your gel electrophoresis and the blotting technique. Please note down. Next we'll discuss our fifth and sixth steps. First we'll discuss the formation of the recombinant DNA. We know that the cloning vector and the fragmented DNA or the foreign DNA, the foreign DNA is being extracted, isolated. Now we will combine, or we can say incubate together to form the recombinant DNA technology. So what happens in the formation, how it happens? The cloning vector and the foreign DNA are being incubated together by the help of the ligase enzymes to form the recombinant DNA or the chimeric DNA. The cloning vector and the foreign DNA are incubated together by ligase enzyme to form the recombinant DNA, or the, we can say, the chimeric DNA. It is also known as your chimeric DNA. Okay, you remember the chimeric DNA means nothing but a recombinant DNA. Next, the introduction of the recombinant DNA into the host. Now the recombinant DNA is produced. How the recombinant DNA is being transferred into the host? It happens by three ways: transformation, transduction, and the vectorless gene transfer. Transformation means direct the transfer of the neck DNA from the, we can say, the medium. Direct transfer of necked DNA from the environment, or we can say the from the medium. Okay, first transduction means the transfer of the, we can say, the recombinant DNA from one organism to another by the help of the bacteriophage. The transfer of the recombinant DNA from one organism to another by bacteriophage. Okay, last one, vectorless gene transfer means here no we can say the the cloning vector is used. The recombinant DNA is being transferred without any cloning vector. Instead it is used means some gene gun or micro injection or etc., by which the recombinant DNA is transferred to another organism, so, or into the host. So here the recombinant DNA is transferred without any cloning vector. Instead, the micro injection, gene gun, etc. is used for the direct transfer of recombinant DNA. Okay, simple. Suppose this one is your foreign DNA, this one is your plasmid, okay, or the cloning vector. Okay, suppose this N from extracted various, we can say, the DNA, foreign DNA. This one is your plasmid. Ligase is being done to form the, we can say, recombinant DNA. Okay, this one is your plasmid. This one is your, we can say, the foreign DNA. By the help of the ligase, the RNA, I am writing a recombinant DNA is being formed. Okay, then this one will be transferred into the host, having the bacterial chromosome, and this will transferred into the host. Okay, this one is your bacterial chromosome, this one is your host, okay, and this one is your rDNA. Then we can say the rDNA, or we can say the recombinant plasmid. This will replicate in the host. This will replicate. It will replicate. Okay, this is the bacterial chromosome. These are the plasmids, or we can say the recombinant DNA. Bacterial chromosomes. Okay, so it will we can say the replication of the recombinant plasmid takes place. Replication of recombinant plasmid takes place. Okay, so what did we study now as of now? That the first one is your formation of recombinant DNA, in which the cloning vector and the foreign DNA are being incubated by the help of the ligase enzyme. Okay, by the help of the ligase enzyme to form the recombinant DNA or the chimeric DNA. Next, introduction. Obviously, recombinant DNA will be transferred into the, we can say, the host. It happens by three ways: transformation, transduction, or vectorless gene transfer. If the direct transfer of the neck DNA takes place into the host from the medium, is your transformation. If the transfer of the recombinant DNA takes place by the bacteriophage, then it is your transduction. If without any vector, the transfer of the recombinant DNA takes place by the help of the artificial, by microinjection or gene gun, then it is your vectorless gene transfer. Simple concept: foreign DNA, plasmid DNA, which is being isolated by the help of the ligase, the recombinant DNA or the recombinant plasmid is being formed, and it is transferred into the host having the bacterial chromosome, and where it will replicate and where the various replication of the recombinant plasmid takes place. Okay, so this is all about your two more steps. One is the formation of recombinant DNA and the introduction of recombinant DNA into the host. Okay, please note down. Please add here one more point, as I forgot. Please add here. First means the cell divides. Okay, only just add the point. The cell simply divide. Okay, and then multiplication of recombinant plasmid takes place. Okay, then first the cell divide and then the multiplication of the plasmid takes place. Okay, just add this point. So now we'll discuss our two more last step, that is obtaining the, we can say, the foreign gene product and the processing. So what is the, we can say, the obtaining the foreign gene product? Means during the replication we have to first do the screening, means in which host or which host cell the recombinant DNA is present. Means we know that the host cell will replicate, and so many host cells will produce, by which it will be first used to, we should determine, or we can say we should screen that, do the screening process, means in which the our desired recombinant DNA is present. So how we will take? For a common example, suppose we are considering, in this we are taking the various E. coli colonies in which various host cells are being cultured. When they are having more host cell or culture, we are taking into another plate. Okay, this is your master plate having the E. coli colonies, or we can say the various culture cells, host cells are being cultured having the recombinant DNA. So first we have to determine in which, or we have to screen, we have to do the screening, means in which the recombinant DNA is being present. So suppose consider such as your first one, that is your tetracycline resistance marker gene. You should remember that, you might have remembered that we have used a term called the insertional activation. Means during the ampicillin resistance marker gene, if we introduced a particular, we can say, restriction endonuclease, then and the desired gene is being introduced in that particular area, then what it happens, then it is sensitive to that particular organism, or we can say the ampicillin, or we can say the tetracycline. You should remember, suppose this one is your plasmid, please remember. Oh, okay. So obviously, suppose this one is your tetracycline resistance, the marker gene, the antibiotic marker gene. Okay, this one is your tetracycline marker gene or the antibiotic marker gene. Suppose we will apply the restriction endonuclease here, so that it will remove a particular segment of the gene, the tetracycline, the resistance gene, and that particular desired DNA will be introduced. Then if tetracycline is further entered into this plasmid, then now before it was resistant to tetracycline, but as the gene is now absent, then it will now so sensitive to the tetracycline. So this is known as your insertional activation. Okay, so suppose we are taking here tetracycline resistance marker gene, means what, this before it was a tetracycline marker gene, but when we applied the recombinant DNA, then obviously it should so sensitive to the tetracycline, but before it was resistant to tetracycline, but after applying the recombinant DNA, now it is sensitive to the tetracycline. Over clear your concept? See, suppose this is your master plate, and here we are now only considering the tetracycline resistant marker gene. Suppose that in which the recombinant DNA will be present, that will show resistance to sensitive to the, we can say, the tetracycline. Always remember, as it is tetracycline resistance marker gene we are considering, and if the recombinant DNA is present, then it will compulsorily show sensitive to tetracycline, otherwise the recombinant DNA is not present. So see, if we will apply ampicillin, obviously tetracycline resistor gene is present and the ampicillin resistor genes are also present. So if the ampicillin resistor genes are present, it will show resistance to ampicillin, obviously, but no, it is means in here it is seen that it is sensitive to ampicillin, so this is not being used or discard. Okay, so next, if it is used, that the tetracycline is being used. So if it is tetracycline is being used and if the recombinant DNA is present, then obviously it should show sensitive to tetracycline, but here it is seen that it is showing resistance to tetracycline, so this one is also not used or discard. Clearly understood? But if we apply ampicillin, also we apply the tetracycline, then those who will have the recombinant DNA, it should be happening? It should show resistance to the ampicillin and sensitive to tetracycline. So the ampicillin resistance, sensitive to tetracycline. So in here the recombinant DNA is present. So this one is being accepted. So this one is your foreign gene product. Okay, which is done by the screening by the help of the insertional activation. Remember? Okay. So now finally, when we get the desired gene, or we can say desired foreign gene, now we will go for the processing, in which two processes are being involved. One is a bioreactor, other one is a downstreaming. Bioreactor, it is the process in which a vessel is being used and which the raw materials are being incorporated to extract the gene product. So this one is your, we can say, vessel like. Okay, this one is the outlet for your product, and this process you can see it will turbulence, means it will spin. Okay, and this one is your various medium, we can say. It is the vessel in which the various raw materials are biologically converted into specific products using various plants, animals and human cells. Suppose we are considering our insulin. Okay, so the genes which are being extracted are being poured or incorporated into the bioreactor. Then it will turbulence or move, by which it will form, the raw material will finally form the product. Suppose we are taking here the insulin. Okay, but now the insulin which is prepared having various, means we can say it is not purified, we can say it is not, we can say the insolubles are present. So now it will go for the processing or the downstreaming, in which after the formation of the product, it undergoes some process before the finishing product. What process it will go? First the insoluble will be removed, then the product will be isolated, next the product will be purified, at last the product will be polished. Then after the polished, when we will get the final product, that will go for the market for the commercial use. Okay. So understood? The seventh one step means the obtaining the, we can say, the foreign gene product. Okay, here we are taking the concept of the insertional activation. Okay, as I said earlier, now here we are taking only tetracycline resistance marker gene, means only in here place only the recombinant DNA, or we can say the the E. coli, sorry, the restriction endonuclease is being attacked, or we can say restriction endonuclease cut, and the specific or the desired DNA, recombinant DNA, is being introduced, by which obviously before it was resistance to tetracycline, as the tetracycline resistance marker gene were present, but after application of the recombinant DNA, it is now the tetracycline marker gene is not present. So that is why now in this case it is becomes sensitive to the tetracycline, but it is resistant to the ampicillin. Obviously ampicillin resistance marker gene is present. So as here we said, means we will do the replica plate, okay, in which in this case what happens when ampicillin is being used, it should show resistance to ampicillin gene, as it is present the ampicillin resistant marker genes are present, okay. So, but here sensitive to ampicillin is being seen, so it is being discarded. Next step, tetracycline is being used, by which it show resistant to tetracycline. No, as the recombinant DNA is present, it should show sensitive to tetracycline, so it is also being discarded. Next, the ampicillin is being used and the tetracycline is being used. So in generally, if the recombinant DNA is present, then it should be show resistance to ampicillin, as the ampicillin resistance gene is present, but it should show sensitive to tetracycline, as the tetracycline gene is now absent, as the recombinant DNA is introduced in this place or the restriction endonuclease cut at that place. So as this is in this case, you see it shows the ampicillin resistance and sensitive to tetracycline, so this one is accepted, as we have find out now, screened out that in this culture cell the recombinant DNA is present. Finally, we will go for the processing bioreactor, in which the raw product are being incorporated and the product is being will get the product. Suppose here we will find the from the insulin product. Next, the insulin will go for the downstreaming, in which the insolubles are being removed, it is being isolated, then it is being purified, then it is being polished. At last, it will send to the market for commercial purpose. Okay. So today we discussed various steps of the recombinant DNA technology, in which we described 8 important steps. Okay, we described very much, means so many steps, such as we can say the isolation technique, how we will isolate, then how we will form the, we can say, the recombinant DNA technology, how we will means the incorporate or into transferred into the host. It happens by 3 process: transformation, transduction, and the vectorless gene transfer. Okay, next also we described how it will be transferred. Next, we describe how we will form obtain the foreign gene product. Next, how it will be processed, and lastly, after the various downstreaming process, such as your removal of the insoluble, removal of the, we can say, the purification is being done, it is being polished, and finally we get the product. And that product, that isolated purified product, that polished product, is now sent to the market for the commercial purpose. Okay, so remember, in the recombinant DNA technology, various steps, it is one of the important 7 marks long question, in which you will write in detail all the 8 steps. Okay, starting from the, we can say, the isolation up to the, we can say, the processing. Okay, so that's all for today. We will meet in our next class. Thank you.